Hey guys, so I wanted to go ahead and do this quick video in regards to an update about the pregnancy with the twins. I posted generically, kind of what's going on as far as me having to rest and stuff, but nothing specific because I wasn't quite sure as to what was going on. So I wanted to wait until I had some more definitive answers, and now I do. So I'll be kind of giving an update in regards to what's been going on with this pregnancy and an update as far as the outcome for my appointment that I had on Friday. So a couple of weeks ago I had a blood draw done for the second trimester screening, which is for the neural tube defect assessment screening to determine whether or not one or both of the twins could potentially have some type of spinal defect that could affect their development after they're born. When I had that test done, a couple of days later, the results came back, and the on-call doctor at my office called me and said that the test results came back abnormal, that the screening was positive, that when they're looking at results for twins, they want to see a number that is at or below 4.5, and mine was at a 4.9. So I was already scheduled for a perinatal specialist visit on April 20th. To do an anatomy scan for the parents, and then also to start monitoring the development of the babies, their position, their growth, things like that, in preparation for D-Day or delivery day, so that they would know, what course of action we needed to take when that time came. So instead of having it on 4/20, they actually bumped it up to this past Friday. So A&R, the baby's parents, were at the appointment. The first 45 minutes, they did genetic screening with us, genetic counseling with us, to basically discuss, the implications of the screening, what could happen if one or both of the twins did have some type of neural tube defect, and then other options that would be available if the ultrasound results were inconclusive, which was essentially just an amnio. But that had risks of its own, considering it's an invasive procedure, in addition to the fact that I'm carrying twins. So that was something that the parents were going to have to think about. But we went ahead and did the ultrasound. It was really awesome to watch A&R, get to finally see how their children act. I try to text them often and say, oh, this is the character of this baby so far, this is the character of this baby, this is when they move, these are the times that they're active, things like that. So it was really cool for them to be able to see the description of the personalities of the babies that I had been describing. In addition to that, it was also awesome to witness them getting to see which baby was the boy and which baby was the girl. As you know, they've known since before the embryo transfer that they were transferring one boy embryo and one girl embryo, but after the transfer they didn't know whether twin A or twin B was the boy or girl. So they were able to see that twin A is in fact their son and twin B is their daughter. So that was awesome. The babies were very active. They put on a good show for their parents, and it was just beautiful to see. We got lots of good pictures and clips, so I'll probably be sharing a few of those as well. But it was an awesome experience to have with them. In addition to that, it was awesome to see that they were totally fine. It was a relief to see that they were growing. Their development was on par. They're both 10 ounces. So baby boy was 92nd percentile and baby girl was 94th percentile in weight. They were both measuring ahead. I was 18 weeks 2 days on Friday at the time of the ultrasound, and the baby boy was measuring at 18 weeks 6 days, and the baby girl was measuring at, I believe, 18 weeks 4 days. So they were both measuring ahead, both very active, both very healthy, strong heartbeats, good looking organs, etc. So that was a relief. The other thing we found out, though, is that the unexplained bleeding that I've been having is not so unexplained. If you've been following my videos on YouTube or following me on Instagram, you know that I've had 3 instances of profuse bleeding and clotting. Each time it's happened, it's lasted longer and longer. The first time in February it happened, the bleeding lasted for 24 hours. The second time, 4 days. This time, it's been over 2 weeks. It's not profuse once it starts tapering off, but I am still spotting and bleeding. And what they ended up determining, they showed us that I do have a subchorionic hematoma, which is essentially a clot of blood that's behind one of the placentas, and it's either got to pass itself and come out, or it's got to reabsorb into the cervix, so the cervical wall. So at this point, they're pretty certain that I'm going to continue to bleed. It's still pretty large for me to be in my second trimester, so we're just waiting to see, you know, what the outcome is. So basically at this point, they'll be doing an ultrasound every 4 weeks to, again, continue to monitor me, the bleeding, the baby's positions, etc. And I have my standard doctor's appointments every 4 weeks, so they'll be staggered. So I'll essentially have an appointment every 2 weeks, one with my doctor and then the next one with the perinatal specialist, and so on and so forth until the babies are delivered. But it's just amazing to me because, you know, from the very beginning, when I started having the episodes, you know, the twins' mom, she's an oncologist. She does research though, and so she was asking, you know, she sent me these articles. Typically, I'm a reader myself, but my sickness has made it difficult for me to read or scroll for long periods of time without me getting nauseous or dizzy. So she had sent me some information, and we had asked my doctor if I had a subchorionic hematoma. They kept saying, no, we looked, we don't see that. Then recently, she sent me an article for low-lying placenta and placenta previa, and she said, I wonder if this is what you have. And I was like, that's exactly the symptoms I'm having. We asked my doctor, no, I checked for that first. We can't see anything like that. So I was just like at a loss because, you know, for me to have that type of bleeding and then have to go on these iron IVs, like there's got to be something wrong, you know. So turns out I do have both of those, the subchorionic hematoma as well as the placenta previa. Basically baby A, the boy, his placenta is lying right above my cervical opening. So my cervix and the opening of my cervix. So essentially that can make it difficult for me to have a natural delivery. If it doesn't, you know, move or whatnot. So they have to monitor that, and it could put me at risk for preterm labor. So there's its own set of risks, but there's basically nothing they can do at this point other than monitor it. As far as the hematoma, the specialist was saying typically, you know, there's nothing they could do but watch and wait. Once you get past 23 weeks, there might be some other options that we can explore, but they don't even discuss it until you've reached that milestone. So again, kind of frustrating, but at least now we know what's going on. I have to maintain, you know, activity restriction, level 2 activity restriction, which means I'm on bed rest most of the time. And then it's just kind of, yeah, it's hard. Because I'm also on pelvic rest, which means no intercourse, no anything that could irritate my cervix. So it's pretty restrictive right now. But above all, you know, I always try to see the silver lining, and the babies are healthy, I'm healthy. And so all we can do is continue to wait and pray and hope that things get better as, you know, the twins continue to develop. So that's pretty much what's been going on. So good news is the babies are completely fine developmentally, and they have been able to explain the source of my bleeding and what's going on with that. So now we can have it being monitored more specifically, and just wait at this point. So today I'm 18 weeks 5 days. I'm almost at the halfway point this Wednesday, not 19 weeks. They will not let me go past 38 weeks with the twins. So as of this Wednesday, I'll officially be halfway through the pregnancy. I feel like I've been pregnant forever, and that I've been through everything with these twins. But, you know, aside from all of the scary stuff that has happened, I've truly enjoyed being pregnant with them. I've loved having the belly. I've loved being able to feel them move and grow and interacting with them and being able to report that to their parents. Like I said at the beginning, the only thing that's kind of difficult for me, having been through infertility while we were waiting for our daughter, is just, you know, that which is the mother, can't experience, you know, this herself. She's very involved in the pregnancy, which is great, but part of me just wishes that she could experience it herself, you know. And I think she wishes that as well, but they're also extremely grateful. They tell us that all the time, you know. They're sorry that I have to go through all of this, but they're extremely grateful, you know, for the sacrifices that I and my family have made to make sure that they can have their forever family. And it feels like a sacrifice at times, but other times, you know, like those moments when I'm watching them watch their ultrasound and watch their kids, it's totally worth it, you know, like that I can do my part to help make sure another couple doesn't have to struggle for any longer than necessary to complete their family. So that's where things are with that. I will continue to post updates whenever I can. Most of the time I do it on Instagram, but things like this, it's just too much to post on a blog post. So I decided to record it instead. But I thank you all for your thoughts and your prayers. Continue to keep us uplifted. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if there's any other information. I've had a lot of people reach out to me lately regarding surrogacy. I love the fact that you guys are interested, and even more so, despite the struggles that I've had carrying the twins, that you guys are willing to do it for a family as well. So I try to be as candid and as open as possible. If there's anything in particular you guys would like me to discuss or any questions you would like me to answer, I'm more than happy to do that. So you guys just let me know. Leave it in the comments or send it in a personal message. I'll make sure to address those things. In the meantime, stay prayed up, and I hope you guys have a good week. Bye.